What happened to 16-year-old Carter Spivak Villeneuve?
But I guarantee at the end of the day, it's probably not worth losing a life over.
Homicide investigators plea for leads in the teen's death. Plus, how the province says it's taking on predatory tow truck drivers head-on. And moments of levity for a little Airdrie boy in desperate need of a live liver transplant.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. The family of a teenage boy who was found dead in Abbeydale on Friday is sharing their grief and are appealing alongside homicide investigators for information to try and understand what happened to 16-year-old Carter Spivak Villeneuve. Police are treating the teen's death as a homicide. Tonight, a growing memorial of flowers, toys, candles, and notes sit near where Spivak Villeneuve was found unresponsive along Abergale Drive Northeast. His mother was among those who dropped off some red roses. She declined an interview, but in a statement via police said the family shared their devastation over losing their son, adding Carter's death has left an empty void in the hearts of many family and friends. One parent who stopped by the memorial tells us she had only met Carter recently after he and her daughter became friends.
He's a very sweet boy. Anytime he came over, he wanted to do the dishes with me or play with my stepson and play with cars. So we left a car over there. You could know someone for 20 years and it could mean nothing to you. And you could know someone for like 2 or 3 weeks and they could mean everything. And Carter was that person.
Calgary investigators have not revealed how Carter died or any details on a possible motive or potential suspects, but they are urging the public to come forward with any tips or leads.
We recognize people may have been away, being a long weekend, and if people haven't talked to us yet, they may have video, just if they can reach out or if they saw anything that night. Also, we recognize that people may have talked since then or heard something since then. And again, we want to hear from that. The loss of a 16-year-old, somebody who's supposed to be probably having the funnest times in their lives, and now a whole family's smashed with this tragedy.
Homicide detectives are also interested to hear from anyone who has seen or shared information on social platforms like TikTok or Snapchat about the teen's death. You can contact police or anonymously through Crime Stoppers. The province is cracking down on predatory tow truck drivers. New rules across Alberta will establish a 200-meter buffer zone around collisions. Tow truck drivers will only be able to enter when requested by drivers or police. The measures follow similar rules established in Edmonton and Calgary earlier this year. It comes after some drivers essentially had their vehicles held hostage by unauthorized tow truck companies.
The last year and a half, what it is that we're hearing is increased incidents of predatory towing. And certainly what it is that we're beginning to hear now are almost daily reports within our towing network of individuals that find themselves broken down on the side of the road or involved in a collision.
Any tow truck drivers breaking the rules could face a $1,000 fine. The measures go into effect on Friday. A dump truck ran through a guardrail and rolled down an embankment in southwest Calgary this morning. The truck ended up in some water in a ravine near Old Banff Coach Road. The driver walked away with no significant injuries. It happened just after 8 o'clock. One of Lethbridge's busiest roads was closed today. A truck carrying a Caterpillar scraper got wedged under the Whoop-Up Drive Bridge, bringing traffic to a standstill this morning. Crews spent hours working to remove the truck and assessing the damage. Some lanes reopened around noon. It comes as road work is also being done on top of the bridge, which is already causing delays. A dog has died in a house fire in the southeast community of Legacy. Fire crews responded around 5 a.m. to Legacy Reach View. Smoke was pouring out of the house when they arrived. They were able to extinguish the flames quickly, but the family pet died in the fire. It's been deemed suspicious and police are investigating. The homeowners tell CTV News they think their dog did something in the basement to start the fire. Calgary's mayor says she wants to have a special meeting with Marda Loop businesses on the ongoing construction issues. This comes after the owner of Doodle Dogs told CTV News yesterday that she's seen a huge drop in customers over the past 15 months of construction and blames the city for her business's closure. In one case, crews actually flagged people away from her store. Mayor Jody Gondek says construction should be done in 2 months, and she wants to hear from businesses themselves.
I want to have a good conversation with businesses that are expressing difficulty or making decisions to leave. I want to understand what their perspective is, and I think it's really important in my position to reach out to them and say, you're valued in our city, and what's happened, and what would you have liked to have seen done differently. So that's really what I want to achieve.
Gondek says the high amount of rain recently has caused some delays in construction. She has asked administration to see if they can place some interim measures in the area to help local businesses. The mayor and businesses are encouraging people to shop in Marda Loop, and they hope Mardi Gras will help. The event returns this Sunday, celebrating 40 years. The free family festival hosted by the Marda Loop Business Improvement Area includes music, games, a pet pageant, and food. More than 35,000 people are expected to visit the neighborhood as 33rd Avenue Southwest becomes car-free between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Gina is in with our first look at the weather. We know the good stuff is coming for the weekend, but we still have a couple more days before that.
Yeah, Mother Nature's making us work for the sunshine, that's for sure. So pack your patience over the next couple of days here. I mean, tomorrow morning should be fine for the most part. Models initially indicated a clear start to the day, but I am noticing a pretty thick cloud cover over Calgary right now. So updated our conditions for overnight too, cloudy with the hopeful, fingers crossed, clearing in the morning, so you'll get some sunshine there. 21 for your high. It's in the seasonal range, but on the cooler side of it. And again, the chance for thunderstorms in the evening there, and then the big rain event on Friday. I'll have all the details in your main weather.
Thank you very much, Gina. An Airdrie couple is spreading the word about live liver donations as they await a donor to save their toddler's life and help other kids on the wait list for organs. Alicia Fieldberg met little Colby and his family today.
Giggles and smiles continue despite all of the equipment hooked up to 18-month-old Colby. He has a rare genetic condition called Alagille syndrome, which impacts his liver, and he's been in the hospital for months.
Yeah, it's very hard.
He can't walk or stand right now and has to take several medications. Colby's doctor says he needs a liver transplant.
Oh, it would be the difference between life and death for him. The priority is to get an organ to make sure that, we can get Colby back on track.
It could come from someone deceased or a living donor who has a surgery to remove a piece of their liver.
The liver is like a worm. You can cut a piece off and it'll just regrow. But unfortunately for Colby, because of his genetic condition, his liver can't regenerate and repair itself.
It is a major surgery, so there are risks associated with it. But overall, the donors do very, very well.
While Colby remains in hospital, his family is trying to make the most of the time they can all spend together and hope they can find a matching donor soon.
It's been a struggle for the family. We have high hopes, and we're believing that things are going to change.
Having a donor transplant for Colby would be life-changing.
And not just for him. Colby's family and doctors say donors could change the lives of about a dozen children in the area that need liver transplants.
That huge impact that organ donation can have for the community and specifically for patients like Colby.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
And Colby needs a donor with type O blood, positive or negative, who is healthy and between the ages of 18 and 55. Anyone considering registering as a donor can contact Living Donor Services at 780-407-8698. BC fire crews already have dozens of fires to contend with, but now BC officials warn of AI images on social media that claim to show wildfires, but they're totally fake.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
The number of E. coli cases linked to an outbreak at the Saskatoon Berry Farm near Okotoks has risen again. Alberta Health Services says there are now 68 probable laboratory cases of E. coli. That's up from 49 on Friday. 4 people have been hospitalized, but only 1 patient remains in hospital. A more serious parasitic infection has been detected in 45 people. AHS says those who ate or drank at the farm between July 1st and 18th may have been exposed. The farm's restaurant and bakery remain closed during the investigation, but other areas remain open. The farm says water it uses for irrigation and rinsing have been deemed safe. Rain in BC is helping firefighters on the ground, but it's not enough to slow down a big fire burning on Vancouver Island. More than 200 firefighters have boots on the ground working to get a handle on the 5 square kilometer Wesley Ridge fire near Nanaimo. The flames threatened several homes, but they were spared.
They were at the back door and front door and sides of several properties. Fighting it in our backyard is it's no short of amazing. And the sense of accomplishment that they've had up till today it's been truly life-changing for our department.
More than 100 fires are burning across BC. Meanwhile, experts are weighing in following a series of AI-generated photos of wildfires being shared online. The concern is this rise in misinformation will only get worse during emergencies. And as CTV's Isabella Zavarisi reports, BC isn't alone when it comes to facing this problem.
Captivating images of wildfires. The photos so realistic that those in charge of wildfire management are worried they could impact how people respond to natural disasters.
People might make decisions based on those images or be more fearful because of those images or not take our warnings seriously.
The photos are generated by artificial intelligence. The BC Wildfire Service says it noticed them in the last few weeks on Facebook during the peak of the wildfire season.
Wildfires are already or can be a really scary time for people. There can be a lot of anxiety around that. People can be unsure about what to do or what's happening. So anytime that we see potentially adding more fear or anxiety when it's not needed, we're concerned about that.
This is an AI image of the Drought Hill wildfire in Peachland. Here's what it actually looks like.
Often the images that we've seen are making the fires that they're purporting to be about look way worse than they are in reality.
In January, as wildfires tore through Los Angeles, AI images of the iconic Hollywood sign engulfed in flames were shared online.
You know, it's irresponsible for people to put out these types of images. You can be costing people's lives because of putting out fake news like that.
One UBC scientist says he worries AI will be misused.
I predict that, it's only going to become harder from here. That the use of these technologies will become much more pervasive because it's becoming accessible and the models are only getting better. And I think the awareness and the education around these should really be happening right now.
So the message that I have to British Columbians is please be cautious of where you get your information. Be aware of AI-generated content.
The province is urging people to turn to trusted sources of information instead, such as local media, governments, and First Nations. Isabella Zavarisi, CTV News, Vancouver.
And Calgary is about to get more vibrant over the next couple of weeks thanks to the Bump Festival. Close to a dozen artists are working on a massive scale to bring blank walls to life. Kevin Fleming has more.
He's the only Treaty 7 artist to return to the Bump Festival 4 years in a row. And now Nathan McGuinness is working on a mural on Bow Valley College's West Campus building. And the name gave him the idea for the piece.
My dad, when he prays to the west direction, he's praying for the grandfather winds and the mountains, and then he's praying to Grandfather Bear. So for me, that was the connection to why I should add the bear.
He says the mother bear he painted represents the college who's taught her two cubs the ways of the world and is now letting them go to succeed in life.
And that's what this campus is doing. This place is helping them live, not survive, but live, enjoy life, and do something they love and be creative.
The college saw an opportunity to enhance the downtown experience for commuters by adding some color and culture to help revitalize the space that thousands of people pass by every day.
It was important to us that it be an Indigenous installation and from an Indigenous artist, and so we chose somebody from the Tsuut'ina Nation here as part of Treaty 7, and so that was about as much influence as we wanted to put into the process, and then from there we really invited the artists to sort of engage with the space, engage with the canvas.
The Bump Festival is in its 9th year and to date has added 152 public art pieces to the city.
Strangely enough, in Canada, I would say we're one of the leading public art cities now. So we have these profound, heavyweight muralists from around the world coming to give us their masterworks. So we're quickly becoming a public art city. 9 years ago, not so much, but you know, the dream is 10 years from now, we can talk about Calgary like Berlin. Like New York, like an art city.
McGuinness works fast and will be finished his mural in just over 4 days. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Organizers say by mid-August, the festival will have added a total of 162 murals to Calgary's public art scene. Well, Gina's up next with her Skywatch forecast, and yes, the weekend looks great, but the next couple of days, maybe carry that umbrella and rain jacket just in case.
We've developed a rhythm when it comes to the weather here in Calgary. The last couple of days, it's that nice sunny start to the morning, building cloud in the afternoon, and that increased potential for some thunderstorms when those clouds move in. Today, obviously, a lot of active weather in the central part of the province, and we did see those clouds move in, but not as much precipitation or instability with them today. That could change tomorrow. It likely will change tomorrow. 24 degrees for our high today. Didn't quite make it to that forecast high of 25. But a very comfortable day out there for the most part. In the evening as well, just that overcast sky for the most part, and some places might have seen a couple scattered showers. Tomorrow, the temperatures start to cool off a little bit as we await a low pressure system moving in. So high of 21 on tap for Calgary for Thursday, 23 in Lethbridge, 26 in Medicine Hat, and you can see Edmonton only getting to 17. Tomorrow, they're about a day ahead of us when it comes to this rain. So we're picking up our futurecast here tomorrow morning when that system, it'll move in overnight for the most part and really make its impact in the morning there. So you see it's enveloping all of the Yellowhead west of Edmonton for the most part, and then it starts to circulate downwards. Very slow moving cycle here. So we'll start to see the precursor to this wet weather system at around 6:30 tomorrow, where we do see some thunderstorms in and around the Calgary area. And then this really starts to drench us as we get into Friday morning there. That'll also cool off our temperatures as well. So it looks like the heaviest rain will be during the morning hours, but you can see as I just continue to advance this model, it's several waves of this precipitation. So forecast amount of rain, it's really fluctuating. A couple hours ago, it was saying we could see 17 millimeters. Now it's suggesting only 9. So that just goes to show these models, they're constantly updating and reevaluating as the system gets closer. Everywhere, though, you can see on Friday is going to be impacted somehow by this low pressure system, and temperatures in most places only getting to the high teens, maybe the low 20s, but it starts to improve as we look ahead to Saturday with a high of 22, lots of sunshine, and 24 on Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud.
Thank you very much, Gina. A storm that blew through last night really hit parts of Cochran hard before it got here to Calgary. The Sunset Ridge neighborhood was hammered by rain and hail, turning it into a river of sorts, especially in low-lying areas where storm sewers became overwhelmed. The little lakes that formed were the source of some fun for residents. Take a look at that down the paddleboard. Fortunately, no houses or cars were seriously damaged. Still to come, how about sending your name to space? The Alberta-made satellite may be small, but it packs a unique payload. A world-renowned paleontologist was on hand at Telespark's Inspiration Stage, sharing more about one of the planet's most significant fossil sites. Dr. Jean-Bernard Caron from the Royal Ontario Museum holding a presentation on the Burgess Shale this afternoon. Located in the Rockies, the shale dates back over 500 million years and is a World Heritage Site. The museum has been studying the area for 50 years and recently made a new discovery in Yoho National Park.
I came just back to Calgary today after spending about 19 days in the field, and this new site is extraordinary with lots of new species. So I'm very excited about this year.
Caron says this shale can help unearth some of the first species that called our planet home. Wordfest is bringing a Canadian literary giant to Calgary. Margaret Atwood will take the stage at the Jack Singer Concert Hall on December 10th to celebrate her new memoir, Book of Lives. Wordfest is expecting a packed house of Atwood superfans. Tickets go on sale August 12th at the Workland Centre box office. Exclusive pre-sale access is available now through Wordfest. From Alberta into orbit, a team at the University of Alberta is sending its studies into space. As Miriam Valdez-Carletti explains, a part of you can go along for the ride as well.
And lift off. Go Falcon, go into ignition.
Your name could be aboard a Falcon 9 rocket. Students at the University of Alberta are creating a satellite that will hitch a ride to space.
We go on a rideshare program, so there's probably 60 or 50 other satellites about this size that are also paying to be on the rocket.
They're building the X-Alta 3.
It'll house a student-built imager that we developed for climate change research.
X-Alta 3 will orbit Earth and monitor ice and snow coverage in Canada and contribute to wildfire research.
The Canadian government especially is looking into more ways to support climate change research. We know that wildfires are a hot-button issue for a lot of Albertan communities.
The X-Alta 3 project will cost $500,000. Part of the crowdfunding campaign includes inviting donors to be a part of the mission through this small chip.
A chip will be affixed like that, and we'll send it to space so your name gets to come with us.
You can pay $100 for one name or $200 for 3. While the satellite is only the size of a loaf of bread, it packs a punch.
But it contains everything. So you have your computer in here, your power. The only thing not pictured on here is some of the surface components.
The students will have their names hidden within the circuits and other components, but it's building X-Alt 3 that makes them excited to launch their careers.
Sending actual hardware that I've designed into space was always a long-term goal for far in the future when I was in my late 20s or 30s or even older.
This is the first opportunity I've ever had to actually participate in a real space mission.
X-Alta 3 will blast off next summer. Miriam Valdez-Carletti, CTV News, Edmonton.
We'll talk about your name written in the stars. All right, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon. Have a great night.